Well, this chapter is late is the anger anime fan, the semi-retired despair reviewer, although technically only reviewing Eden Zero nowadays, since I lack knowledge and knowing on what to improve on next. Here is Eden chapter 92. All the Elemental 4 fights are wrapped up, and yes, which fight was actually wrapped up? I wouldn't say off screen, we only saw one shot. Now we're finally beginning to get back to the Hiromashima style that he always used to do, the one-shot movements, which I like to see. However, don't get me wrong, I'm glad all the other Elemental Force fight were defeated. It feels a little bit anticlimactic though, but then again, that's always how Hiromishima's mangas have always felt. But it's more of the fact that something doesn't feel right, and I'm not talking about the story or plot-wise or anything else. The Elemental Four are defeated, even Drakenjo confirms that. But is that really it? Hmm. Because right now it almost looks like Drakenjo has the disadvantage. Note, I say almost, and I know despair. Despair will always come back when you do not want it. Now on to the chapter. First of all, next Pino's analysis is actually about Homura. No, not Witch, who technically were the other one after Pino. And well, now when I think about it, Pino was first, Witch was before Pino, so that makes sense. I think. No, wait, was no, wait, it's not that thing. Pino was first, and then came Witch. So the fact that Homura comes first is a little bit surprising, but I guess that means that the other Starshine Maidens won't get analysis. Either way, um, she likes her teacher, she hates hot things, and she has a surprisingly strong stats. She has a 4 in attack, a 4 in defense, a 1 in marksmanship, a 3 in ether power, a 2 in intelligence, and a 5 in kimono. The fact that her attack and defense are so high is highly surprising. It rivals Shiki in a way of that way. I don't recall how much his attack power was, but I think his attack power was about 3, although Shiki has better marksmanship. Her ether power is surprisingly low, though, but given the fact that she can only manifest a sword, I guess that makes sense. The successor of the thing of everything else. Anyway, back to the fight, we still see Sylph in her villainous breakdown, as it then turns out that the pin on her forehead is the only thing that has been expressing emotions so far. But it's not that she is incapable of feeling emotions. It appears the pin is the one that is controlling her emotions, or more like suppressing, because the pin suddenly starts shipping like emotions detected, executing emotional control protocol. And as soon as that happens, she gets back to her deadpan face and cold eyes. It's unknown why she has that. Is that one of Draken Yo's ways of controlling her? Why would he need some way to control the wind? Or is it the fact that she can only utilize her power to the fullest if her emotions are under control? It's worth noting that Jin is very stone-faced himself. Although, well, I mean, he is, yes, as her, not so much in touch with his emotions and much more open and sociopathic, but still, I wonder, what is that pin for? Either way, once the pin starts working, she once again enters her cold moments as Homura for the first time actually begins to quote about that adornment. But then Sylph gets really serious as she begins to summon more and more wind. Of course, Homura is not backing down as there's a very fan service like fight with powerful winds clashing and clashing. It's a very welcoming sight to see this from these two, especially from the beautiful Homura. But despite it seeming like Sylph is the one who getting a hand up and even saying that Homura's wind is a nuisance, it seems that for the moment that Homura will get caught into the wind again, but then realizes that she can blow the wind from the other side of the inside, and so she conducts the warrior maiden dual blade imitation, attacked towering crane crust. Oh, that's quite a mouthful. Creates a powerful wind and finally finishes off Sylph with a powerful attack as she proclaims her new name to be Valkyrie Homura, and is now the Sword of Eden. Warrior Maiden single sword attack, Dragon Flash. With that, Sylph is defeated, although still very much in shock. Elsewhere, Witch finishes off Laguna as well with an electric attack, Eden's Glitter, and proclaims that as she backs to her from her form that they are the 4-star maidens, and we dance to protect our family. It's a very beautiful line, and indeed, all of the 4-star maidens has really blown it away. But Sylph appears to actually be conscious as she's still shaking in fear. It's still not exactly known why Jin didn't show up. But then again, nothing is going as we planned in this timeline. Finally, we see also Draken Yo in his tube, confirming that yes, the tube of liquid we saw him in is needed in order to keep him young. But he is confirming just what Rebecca suspected. His body is reaching his limit, and that is exactly why he wants Rebecca's power. This shows that Rebecca is a lot smarter than she think of. Yes, thanks to Master Noah, she put all the pieces together, but the fact that she correctly guessed that Drakenjo's body is reaching his limit, and here he's actually confirming that it is reaching his limit, is interesting. This also begs the question on that bathing scene with Rebecca. Was that just to be, well, where? Or could it be that Draken has to be encased in a certain kind of liquor if he wants to keep his body young? But he's saying that he's out of time means that he has that power he has to get the power. But then Draken Yo also begins to put two and two together while still naked, mind you, saying something like he wonders why the Eden City would do a grand entrance, and he also confirms that he did capture Labia, meaning that this really did happen. But then puts two and two together about the fact that they may even see through the camouflage of Seth. So meaning that this could very well be round two, realizing that Cat Leaper has awakened. This probably means now that he will focus every single ounce of power he can to take the power now. To defeat Draken just get more difficult. But things takes then a surprising turn. Of course, back to the main group, they conclude that they had to destroy the life system. But old Sibber thinks that this is a foolish game. Even Pino do not know if it is the best way option. But the one who breaks the ice is saying that I'll lend you a hat, and that is Labia, or what we thought was Labia. Turns out the uninjured Labia is not the Labia we thought she was. In fact, now begs the question, does that mean she has been Labia all this time? No, I wouldn't go that far. No, it seems more likely that somehow the original Labia has been captured. I mean, replaced after being captured. Because she proclaimed long, long ago she would use a disguise to enter Drakeyo's Drakenjo's headquarters. And I actually questioned why haven't we seen her until before. And now it appears we have, as Labia's face turns into a familiar spiral. Yes, my friends, I believe that we have just reunited with Amira, who proclaims that she will lend a hand. So as I said before, this begs the question, has she always been Labia, or has she just been Labia all in Drakenjo's time? Because this answers the question of why was Labia unhurt? Because it could very well just be that Amira has somehow replaced her with herself, so the injured Labia will not be seen. But then begs the question on if Amira really was here. And why is she here in this timeline then? We also should not take this so lightly. She is working for a spy organization, and right now the gang just told her everything she knew about the timeline and stuff like that. Although she is saying she do not fully get it, her main goal is to defeat Drakenjo. She proclaimed that way back in the detailed arc. But I do not think we can trust Amira. She is a very cold and calculated person. More than that, now that she has heard about this power, don't you think it's a very high chance that she will take Rebecca once they have defeated Draken? I mean, imagine what the Galactic Federation can do with a power like that. Granted, however, Drakenjo seems to be the only one with the resources to steal another ether gear, but that is not proven yet. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't the most overwhelming chapter, but hope won, and that's what I like to see in these dark times. But the fact that Drakenjo has put two and two together really begs the question now or what? We should all but assume this is Amira, especially since she did the spiral thing in her face. Where is the real Labia? Or again, will it be funny if it turns out that Amira has been Labia all the time? Granted, I see no reason why a spy would become a beekeeper, but maybe she thought that was a good way to get contact. Again, that is just a very lame theory right now. So give me your thoughts if you have any.